Okay, we're back. We're in Mongrel, and I'm going to go ahead and just recruit two more people, I think. There's a bunch of people you can recruit in Mongrel. Some cost money, but there's at least three or more. I think definitely three I can think of right off the top of my head that you can recruit for free. Um, you could just be like, oh yeah, I'll just get every free person I want, which I could do, but I don't know. I kind of like having like slightly smaller team or clan. um, I don't know, at least that's where I'm going with. Usually later I regret it and go, "Oh crap, I need more people to do work." I'll be like, "Let's go get so and so," or just recruit a bunch of nobodies to help out, and then they become somebodies later. But anyways, so we're in Mongrel. We got here pretty much without any incident. We had not much happen, and that's all good and stuff. So this is probably the most infamous character in the whole game, which is Beep. So Beep doesn't look like anything. We're gonna go talk to him and get him recruited. He's another free character you can recruit. He is a hive droner, or a hiver drone, a hive droner. That could sound a little a little weird. Anyways, let's talk to Beep. The one thing I'll say, the only thing like, why would you want to recruit Beep? Well, you might want to do him just because he's free. Drones are great for doing labor. They increase labor quickly. I think they're really good at farming. Um, and all that. I like him because he's funny. He's probably the most well-known character in the game. I think even the loss. I think it's added in by the law, but you'll see the little start screens when you're starting the game or loading the game, and it'll give you little tips, and it'll say things like one of the ones that it says is don't try not to save scum unless Beep dies, because there's a lot of people that are like. The game should just be called Beep and Kenshi or King Beep or whatever. So he's funny. He's one of the characters that he has some entertaining dialogue, and I think he has the most lines of like random dialogue he'll say. So he's fun. He's a fun character to have in your group. You obviously you don't have to recruit anybody. It's just in reality, as the game plays out, he's just another character in your crew, and he's just a hive droner and has whatever hive droners can do or hiver drones can do. So he just says beep. So you can see how like I already recruited Boop, which is kind of a spoiler. Um, Boop Boop I think is an added in from the Lost in Ashlands, if I'm not mistaken, and he's kind of based off of like the Beep, but Beep is original for Vanilla Kenshi. So if you're playing Vanilla Kenshi, you can go get Beep and sometimes it's kind of hard to get to Fog Mongrel and through Fog Island early game. So sometimes Beep is like the very first character I try to get just to see if I can survive and get there and get him. But anyways, we're here. We're gonna say he says Beep. You can go through a dialogue. I kind of know the path. I usually just say the same thing every time. But it's kind of funny. He says, you're like, hi Beep, and he's sort of pauses, doesn't say anything. It's like, how do you know my name? And he can say it was just a guess. I'm going to say, well, you just said beep for no reason, so I thought you might be introducing yourself. He's like, you must be some kind of genius then. Are you taking a piss? Beep. I think you are. He swallows nervously. Sir, I would never steal your piss. You're like, what? Sorry, I beep when I'm nervous. That's a bit weird. They exiled me from the hive. So you think about, we haven't really encountered hivers yet, but hivers typically live in a hive, and the, and I think the lore is that there's pheromones from the queen, and they're kind of just stick to themselves and all serve the queen and stick around for the queen. There's obviously hivers all over Kenji and that are non uh, they're hiveless hivers that you can, there's samurai hivers. We have a couple hivers. But Beep's one of those guys that got exiled from the hive. And he's like, you can say, I don't blame him. I don't know what happens if you say that. But we're just going to say, just because you keep saying Beep, I am defective, not good for the hive. But Beep doesn't give up. Beep is strong. Beep can become strong. He's like the the weakest dude, but it's kind of awesome to make him strong. Is then he's super cool. Anyways, he says, since I left the hive, I can feel my mind changing. That's because he's not around the pheromones anymore from the queen. The way I think, I feel free, having thoughts I never had before. I want freedom, but everywhere I go, things try to kill me or chase me. It's like, yeah, no kidding. That's the life of Kenshi. Beep tires of running. Time to stab the things that chase me. Another week, nobody. How much money do you want? Now we've mostly recruited free people, but most people you have to pay them to recruit. So it's like, how much money do you want? Money? I don't know what that means. You can just say, "Welcome to the tea." So it's kind of entertaining. I always chuckle. But now we have Beep, and you can see Beep like he's kind of like what we started with. He just has a pair of pants. He doesn't even have an iron club or anything. He does have a med kit. Um, so that's Beep. We got Beep. Now there's one other person. I'll go ahead and like I do always remember I always say just assign medic, and that way they'll heal people if they need to. There's one other person I'm gonna go recruit here. There's a few unique recruits you can get here. A couple you have to pay for. There's one other one I'm gonna go recruit just for, and I'll explain in a second when I find her. Okay, I'm just like loading this thing full of spoilers, but I didn't find the person I'm gonna get yet. But here's another. This guy's free to get, Crumble John. He's kind of funny to recruit too. And he's a free Greenlander guy you can get. There's another guy called Infinite Wing, and you can grab him. He costs some money I think to get, but he has kind of a funny dialogue when you recruit him too. Um, but we'll go find. There's one other person I want to grab. Okay, so this is the other person I'm going to recruit here out of Mongrel. Like I said, I might regret not having grabbed those other people over here, but you can see there's a good number of recruits. Like this is just like an average, hive drone or hive soldier drone who you can recruit. Uh, he has a better stores. They might be a little bit skilled or something, but there's quite a bit of recruiting you can do up here in Mongrel. It's kind of nice because if you get here early game and come here early and you don't have any people, you could get kind of a decent sized cruise going really easily and start running around and doing things. But her name is Shrike. And the reason I'm going to recruit her is because she's a Scorchlander, and we don't have any Scorchlanders in our crew yet. Now, I keep repeating this. You don't need anybody can be good at anything, and you don't need any particular type of character to play through the game, other than it might impact your Holy Nation relationships and stuff like that. But it's kind of nice to have a Scorchlander because they do have increased stats for all the smithing skills, and I think they're good at like sneaking and assassination and stuff like that too. But they're just kind of nice to have because they can increase that skill, which is one of those things you might want to do once you build a base and you start crafting. You're like, oh, I want to get the good stuff quick. Well, they'll get there faster. So that's one reason. Well, since I'm here, I'm going to grab her. Plus, she's free, so we're going to go talk to her. I have Beep following me around too. I don't know where he is. He's outside following around. So anyway, she basically her story is she got stranded up here. Uh, you know, I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but this is another character when you recruit them has like a somewhat customized additional dialogue lines, and you can talk to them. Um, yeah, yeah. Don't talk about the fog because basically, I think I kind of talked through all that before. The things you need to worry about the fog is getting eaten by the fogmen, and so everybody in Mongrel kind of is either they just live here or they've traveled here and arrived somehow, and they're kind of stuck because nobody wants to leave because they're worried about getting eaten. So you can just say whatever, and you just say why not leave. All right, and I'll just say, let me take you with you. We do have a nice side crowd. Sometimes she says this no matter what, even if I was by myself. But well, yeah, she's a little nervous or whatever. Whatever. They just gives them some personality. You could think about what the person's personality is like. So we got her. That's kind of it for now. I'll cut it off there, and I'm gonna hang out in Mongrel for a bit and do a couple things for a couple reasons I'll explain on the next video. But that's that, and we got her, and we got Beep and Shrike, so we got two new recruits and our crew, and we're rocking and rolling here.